Hi, it's Nick S. Welcome back to the CD Man channel. And this is the second volume for August 24th, 2022 of what I've been purchasing this week. We got 34 titles, including 4 CD singles, a slew of older titles that I needed for the charts, and a slew of new releases and recent titles that I got. Let's start. First is a group that has a rock group I found on the Rock Tracks chart. And 2 of the songs of their album feature Vince Neil of Motley Crue on the single. It's called Clueless Act. And Justin Hawkins of The Darkness on This Is For You. It's Clueless Act. Welcome to the show. Next, we have another rock artist I found. Kevin Morby. This is a photograph. And it's produced by Sean Cohen on the Dead Gardens label. I think it's Dead Oceans label. Excuse me. Okay, now we're going to get into some of the new releases for the week. As we got Silver Sun Pickups, they have a new album out this week. It's called Physical Thrills, and it's on the, let me get the label on that one here. It's on the New Machine Records label. We got Pat Travers. He's a guitarist that had records out in the 1980s and 70s. Boom Boom, Out Go the Lights, and Is This Love, a cover of the Bob Marley classic, were 2 of his hit singles. Pat Travers has a brand new album out. It's called The Art of Time Travel. Next up is an album I've been trying to get for a while now. Haven't gotten it till now, finally, because I couldn't find it for cheap enough or available to ship to me yet. Well, I did now. It's Alice in Chains guitarist Jerry Cantrell and his latest solo album. It's called Brighton. Jerry Cantrell. I had to order from a secondhand seller on it. I think it was Amazon, but I got it. The next album is one of the 2 albums this week that I was most excited to buy. Now, they didn't qualify for album of the week, though they did qualify for most excited I was about an album for the week. Now, as many Madonna fans know, Madonna's released 2 greatest hits albums, the Immaculate Collection in 1990 and GHV2 in 2001. She also released Something to Remember, a ballad-heavy collection, in 1995, and Celebration, a 1-disc or 2-disc collection, in 2009. Well, Madonna's done it again. To celebrate her 50th number 1 on Billboard's dance charts, Madonna has released Finally Enough Love, 50 number 1 hits. Now, so that we're clear, this is not every number 1 she's ever had, as Lucky Star went to number 1 with Holiday, that's missing, and Angel is missing, as it went to number 1 with Into the Groove. Plus, You Can Dance, the dance remix compilation that came out in 1987, went to number 1 as a full album. Of course, the full album's not on there, but several tracks are. The version of Into the Groove is from that album, You Can Dance, as well as 2 other tracks from You Can Dance are on here. Physical Attraction and Everybody. Great collection. Really looking forward to diving into this one in the next week or so. The next album is the first EP to ever be released, or actually first recording to be released 40 years ago, from the Athens, Georgia mainstays R.E.M. And it's from their IRS years. Now, the album's been released before as a part of their rarities collection, Dead Letter Office, in 1986, but as a standalone, never till now. R.E.M. and Chronic Town. Next up is the Hard Rockers' Five Finger Death Punch. They got a brand new album out, Afterlife. We also get John Darnell and Mountain Goats. John Darnell has performed with artists like Aesop Rock before on a record of his. Well, their indie folk or indie rock soundings are back again. Bleed Out, the Mountain Goats. I Prevail is a band you might know from their cover of Taylor Swift's Blank Space. They have a new album out. It's called True Power, I Prevail. Demi Lovato, he, she, they, whatever you want to call them again. I think you can call them, she prefers to be called she, but we call them they, has a new rock-leaning album out. Now, I'm not going to try to pronounce it because, yes, it is a curse word, but it is spelled HVCK. Holy HVCK by Demi Lovato. If you saw any of her 3 days on the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show, Some of the songs were performed on on 2 of the episodes. Now the next album, I don't usually say this, was a mistake. A greatest hits by this group. I'm very happy to purchase one. However, didn't know this album was live, most of it. And I did not want a live album by this group. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to enjoy it. But I'm not satisfied with the fact that most of it's live. And that is 30, Coming in Hot by Jackal. Many thanks to Brendan Schneider and his channel for showing light that this was a live album. Next up is a man who has spent many years in the incredible rock pop band Toto. Now his health is decreased, so he's not able to tour with Toto anymore, but he is able to make a solo album. Forgotten Toys is David Paich. It's his first solo album, and there are, as I've probably heard, let me just take a look at this, several guest appearances on here. Let me just take a look and see what we got. Hold on. It's not a very long album, but let's see here. Hold on. We have Joseph Williams of Toto on here. We have Michael McDonald. We have Steve Lukather, among others. Next is part 2 of a 3-part series. Now, you've gotten 1 and 3 so far, but 2 was only released digitally for a while. It's now released physically. And if you watch the Spectrum Pulse channel, Mark of Spectrum Pulse gave a high review to this album. Actually, EP. And it's by... Oh, what am I the name of this guy again? And by Eric Church. The And EP. Next up is an album I came across at my local Target record store in White Plains. The version that has been out for a while now is 1 CD. The version that I just purchased features a disc of the original versions, as these were remixed versions, or actually reworked versions for the album. And that is Bob Marley and Cherokee Orchestra. Next up is another album I came across from my local Target, and it's actually a Target exclusive, and it's called Keys 2 by Alicia Keys. It's a Keys album with some bonus tracks. Now we're coming across my album of the week. It's by a rock group fronted by Brendan Urie. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Who you may remember as the vocalist on Taylor Swift's Me single. He's the lead singer of Panic at the Disco, and their brand new album came out this week, Viva La Vengeance. Album of the week. Now then, I did follow through with continuing on collecting the songs from the Billboard Hot 100 and Bubbling Under charts, and I got a number of them here to show. 4 CD singles, 2 promo singles, Uptown Hit or Bleep by Curious, rapper Curious, promo CD single, wasn't cheap either. And only way to get it on CD single was a promo. Natalie Cole and her let me get the date on this right. Hold on. 91 version of the Christmas song. And then 2 regular CD singles. Soul singer Gina Thompson featuring Missy Mr. Elliott and Yada Ya. Had it already but needed in the box. And a Latin dance kind of a record. Sort of sounding like Set You Free by Planet Soul or Lena Santiago, Laura Martinez, and Ritmo Latino. And then a bunch of albums that coincide with the charts in the 90s. Ruffa, A Diamond in the Rough. Country group Black Hawk, Love and Gravity. The Conscious Daughters and their second album, Gamers. Disco and the City Boys, Coming Straight At You, which I may have shown last week, can't remember. Country singer Leanne Womack. The Boogie Monsters, Riders of the Storm, the Underwater album. Jessie, Never Let You Go. featuring the #1 dance smash, French Kiss, Little Lewis in the World, from the mind of Little Lewis. That song, French Kiss, is the song with the moaning in it. Sounds like it's a very sexual recording, from what I remember correctly. Rapper Curious, the full-length album, A Constipated Monkey. Got the album because we wasn't sure which version was the one on the charts. Uptown Bleep or Uptown Hit. 4 p.m. You may remember them from covering Q Sakamoto's Sukiyaki in 1994. They had a second album and a single from it charted, A Light in the Dark, 4 p.m. Milkbone made the bottom of the Billboard Bubbling Under charts. The album was called Da Milk Crate. East 17. I'm not going to try to pronounce the album name, but East 17. Phil Storm, Quiet Storm album. That was actually pretty hard to find. And finally, from the end of 1989 and into 1990, I needed 2 recordings. The aforementioned Little Lewis in the World album and this one, Diving for Pearls, self-titled album. Also, last week I couldn't find and didn't show the latest Danny Elfman remix album. Well, I found it. It was in my bedroom. Here it is. Oingo Boingo's Danny and film composer Danny Elfman. Album's called, what's the name of it again? Bigger, Messier. So that's it. What I've been purchasing for the past week, for August 24th, 2022. Album of the week, the new album by Panic at the Disco. Highly recommended. R.E.M's Chronic Town and Madonna's Finally Found Enough Love 50 #1 hits triple disc collection. This is Nick S. from the CD Man signing off now. If you like this video, subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the dingy to be reminded when new videos are out. Thank you, and have a great day, and keep on listening to that physical media.